Hey guys, this week we are actually supposed to be coming to you live from our favorite bookstore or library, but Hurricane Irene made it virtually impossible for me to go anywhere this weekend, and I work, so here I am. Imagine that atmosphere of your favorite bookstore, grab a cup of coffee, and we're there. So this week what I want to talk about, since we are slowly approaching the end of August, well, pretty much almost there, I want to talk about fall reads for 2011. And I was kind of inspired by the Top 10 Tuesday topic for this week, which is the top 10 books on your to-be-read list for the fall. It doesn't have to be new releases, it could be anything, just anything that you've pushed up to the top that you're like, I'm going to read this fall. So what I'm going to do is tell you 10 releases that I'm really excited for this fall. Sounds like a very, very interesting dystopia. It looks like a good love story, a good world building. It just looks really interesting altogether. So if you're looking for a dystopian novel, this will be it for fall. So I hear. Comes out November. Virtuosity. I just love the cover for this, and I got really excited when I got it at BEA. I really like books that have the main character who is musical. I loved that about If I Stay by Gail Forman. Great book, one of my favorites. You should read it. But this is a contemporary, and the main character, she plays the violin. Seems like a bit of a love story, but she really wants to win and compete, so she starts taking anti-anxiety drugs, and it kind of becomes an addiction. So, really excited about this contemporary novel. This comes out in October, which is a great month because it's my birthday. You Are My Only, Beth Kephert. Probably said that wrong. So, what You Are My Only is about is a girl, she's married young, she's in a marriage she doesn't like anymore, she has a baby, she's like 19, 20, and she walks away for a second and then she finds that her baby's missing. So then it fast forwards, I think 14 years or something like that, and we see what happened to the girl and who kidnapped her and what her life is like now. So this looks really good. And it comes out in October. The Future of Us, J. Asher and Carolyn Mackler. I love J. Asher. I loved 13 Reasons Why. Very, very good book. And this is a collaboration novel. And honestly, I really couldn't even tell you what it's about. But because he wrote it, I'm going to be reading it. So basically, it's a story about two people who, when the internet first comes out, they get AOL and they decide to log on to their computer, onto the internet for the first time, and they find themselves 15 years in the future, and they see themselves on Facebook. So they get to find out what their destiny is, what happens to them, their fate, 15 years later. Sounds really interesting. And this is out November. Don't Breathe a Word by Holly Cupula. I'm so bad at pronouncing last names. So it's about a girl named Joy, and she is feeling very smothered by her parents, and she has asthma, and she has a boyfriend. It really kind of seems like he's a little bit verbally abusive, and one night I guess he takes it too far, and she hits her breaking point, and she runs away. And I think it looks like she starts hanging out with this homeless boy named Creed. Yes. So, yeah, sounds really interesting. I haven't really read any contemporary novels about homelessness or anything like that, and I've read a few about abuse, but this sounds like a very powerful, interesting book. And it comes out in October. Eve by Carey. I am so excited for this one. Like, I can't even tell you how excited I am for it. dystopian. I've heard it's amazing, and I really love the cover. It's part of a trilogy, I believe. Sounds like she graduates from her high school in this world that she is, but she somehow finds out what happens after you graduate, and so she runs away so that she can survive, and she meets a boy. So it kind of sounds to me a little bit like Delirium, sort of, but I've heard it's really good, so I'm really excited about this one. And it comes out in October as well. So excited for this one. Liesel and Poe, Lauren Oliver. I typically don't read middle grade books, but I love Lauren Oliver's writing, and she's such a sweetheart. I've gotten a chance to meet her twice, and she's pretty freaking awesome. And I've heard that this is just an amazing, amazing story. It's a very personal book for her, and I think I haven't read it yet because I think I'm not wanting to handle the emotions that are probably going to be in this book, but I'm planning on reading it really, really soon. So basically it's about a young girl who is locked in her bedroom by a cruel stepmother, and she only has shadow friends and mice who are her friends. Kind of seems a lot like Cinderella, which I loved. And then one night a ghost named Poe arrives, and that becomes her friend. So Poe helps Liesel escape from the attic, they go on this journey. Not really sure what the journey's about, but I have a feeling this is going to be a very, very powerful book. So if you don't read middle grade, really, I think this is one you should put on your list still, from what I've heard from people who have read it. And it comes out in October. But I just love the cover, and I think this would be totally something I would have loved when I was the middle grade age, or probably elementary school. Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Laini Taylor. I've heard amazing things about this book. Amazing things. So it is pretty high on my list. Seems like it's a fantasy novel. Seems like it's set in another world and Prague. And it seems like a student in Prague gets caught up in some sort of battle. I don't know, the back looks pretty ominous. So it says, around the world, black handprints are appearing on doorways, scorched there by winged strangers who have crept through a slit in the sky. In a dark and dusty shop, a devil's supply of human teeth grows dangerously low. And in the tangled lanes of Prague, a young art student is about to be caught up in a brutal, otherworldly war. This sounds amazing. I don't really read too much fantasy, but I'm starting to really get into it, and since I've heard amazing things about this one, it's definitely on my list for the fall. Next up is Variant. Variant, another dystopian. Are we seeing a trend here? Jamie likes dystopian novels. Oh wait, I talked about how much I love dystopian novels like 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, character Benson gets a scholarship to an academy, and he thinks it's going to be great, and he finds out that he's really wrong. Instead, it's this school that has cameras and wire fences, and breaking a rule is huge. And so it kind of seems a little bit brotherish, people watching your every move. And he finds out what the school's big secret is, and he realizes that he is not going to be able to escape.